Good morning, students. Today, I like to continue the concepts on the Unit 1 of Artificial Intelligence. Previously, we have seen the applications on artificial intelligence. We have also covered the sub areas of AI. There, we have seen some of the few important sub areas of artificial intelligence. Also, we have seen the history of artificial intelligence. So that was all the concepts, that is history of artificial intelligence we covered, and in that we have seen how an artificial intelligence has been evolved, and currently also it is in a state where it is getting day by day, they are developing a new concepts on artificial intelligence. So this is how which we have discussed in the last class. So today I am going to explain you in detail on the concept of structure of agents. So I already introduced you about what is an agent, right? And I have given you an example also. Today still we'll discuss more on the agents concepts. So if you see a normal agent, see there are some process that has to be performed in agents. So the first process what it performs is percepts. A percept is a process where it acquires an information or multiple information from environment. So if you see this one, so in this environment it percepts the information, and after that let us consider this is a robot. So through sensors it takes the data from environment. So the taking data through sensors is percepts. Percepts means acquiring the information. Now this is how an agent. There is a question mark here because agent is just not a simple thing. There are various types of agents are there, and anyhow we will be discussing all the types of agents in this session. So based on the type of agent, it performs the work, and ultimately it provides action, and this action will be performed in environment through actuators. For example, if I consider a robot as an agent, then taking the information from environment through sensors. So here you can consider camera, also a machine which is working in a robot. So all that will be act as what? The sensors. And here it performs the operation, and through the motion of through the work what the robot has to be done will be performed by an action. So who will perform that? Actuators. Such as here you can see the hands and legs are actuators. And even if I say you that in a broad way, like if you consider this, so agents so this agents can be of different types. Like if you consider here, the first is what? A human agent, right? And in that one robots is also an agent, but this robot is hardware based, and also the agent is just not only the hardware things, like human agent is not, human agent is an example for natural agent, but if I say robots is an artificial based agent and it comes under the category of hardware. But there are some other agents also, like software agents. So these robots are software agents are artificial agents. Okay? But if you give an example of human agent is a natural agent. So this natural agent, see, consider our case as an example of natural agent, human agent. For example, just now if I say you that let us consider this example only, if consider as a human agent. So here the sensors are ears, right? And like nose, eyes, all are sensors here, which takes the information from environment. So if it takes the information from environment, that means it perceives the information. And our hands, legs, okay, and our mouth will act as an actuators. So they will perform actions. So these actions will be again performed in environment. So this is just an example of human agent. Similarly, if you see, there are some agents also, like robot agents is an also hardware agent, and software agents are also there, like this hardware agent or software agents are AI based agents. Okay, why? Because here we are implementing the concept of artificial intelligence over there, that's why these are artificial agents, and here it performs some kind of procedure as we seen in agents. Okay, so if you see in robots, you may find different types of what is that? You find different types of sensors, but if you consider in software agents, what can be the sensor in software agents? See, software agent sensors is something, it takes the information from environment. So if you press a key, okay, if you press a key, then also it come under sensor for software agents, right? For example, if your software based application is network related application, then whatever the packets, network packets which you receive from network is also a sensor, because it takes the information from the outside world, that is from the environment. Also, if any file is there in your computer or in a network, when it takes the file, when it reads the file, that also considers to be as a sensor in software agent. And if you see in software agent, if you take an example of actuators, the actions what it can perform, the actions it can perform is something, if you want to display something on a screen, that is called to be as an actuator. Some actions is performing environment. Also, if you suppose there is a file which has to be sent through a network, then in case of sensor, it is receiving the file through a network, a packet of data. Here in actuators, it is sending the packet of information or packet of data into the environment by an agent. So that's why software application, see, in simple, if I say you that human agent means we as a human being as an agent. Robots means AI based robots, okay, are also are agents, that are artificial agents, but that are hardware agents. Next, third category is of software agents. That means any software based application where you are implementing AI based concepts, that are called to be as software agents. Okay, so this is how just a broad category of agents now, and you all will be seeing much more on this. Okay, so simply what you need to know here is it perceives the information from environment through sensors, and it acts upon that environment from where it has received through actuators. Okay, so that actuators will perform actions. So now there is an example of vacuum cleaner. So if you see, like I said, you percepts means to get from any to get a data from environment. So if you see vacuum cleaner, if you see percepts, there are two things are there here. The one is location, okay, and the second is content. Okay, so there are two percepts here, and the location can be, they have been given as A and B location, and content can be, it has been given as dirty. So now there is an agent or a robot, because vacuum cleaner you are considering as an agent, which is a robot. So what it performs, what it takes as an input, it takes on which location I need to clean there. What they require is location, and what the problem in that location. That means what the content on which it has to work. That means a dirt is there. So example you can see here. If you see this example, what is that example? A is what a location and dirty is the content. So now the vacuum cleaner has to clean the dirt from location A. So what action it can performs? Okay, so here if you see now, actions has to be performed by that agent. So here agent is what? A vacuum cleaner. So the action is either the vacuum cleaner can move towards left in direction, can move towards in right in direction, and if there is any dirt, it can suck the dirt in order to clean that surface. And the last is if nothing it performs, simply there is no operations on that. Okay, so this 1, 2, 3, 4 actions has to be performed by a vacuum cleaner. So in that sense it is. Okay, so this is just an example to understand that how an agent works here. Okay, so I have said you in the history of artificial intelligence in the previous class that in the year 2002, a Roomba vacuum cleaner as a robot, this is actually a robot which is used for, what is the purpose of that robot? Is to clean the surface. That is actually is a vacuum cleaning robot. Okay, so it has been developed by MIT. So the same operations what I said you just now, that operations will be performed here. And apart from that, what happens here is it rotates. Okay, the brushes of that, it rotates in direction, and it automatically navigates, there is no human intervention here, and it cleans the furniture, corners and all wall edges. So all these things will be performed by this automated robot, automated vacuum cleaning machine, or you can say vacuum cleaning robot. Okay, so if you refer the history of artificial intelligence, then you can find the name as Roomba, right? So which I already discussed in the previous class. So this is an example of vacuum cleaner. So this is how it performs. Now this is regarding agent. But what is first thing is rational agent. So before going to rational agent concept, first you need to understand an agent, what the agent has to do. The agent has to do the right thing. That means right thing only, right? Okay, it has to clean only the dirt, not any other thing, right? As in the case of vacuum cleaner. So it has to do the right thing based on what? What it perceives. So what it perceives here, it perceives location and it perceives the content. And based on the action it can perform. So what action it has been performed, such as moving towards left in direction, right in direction, and suck operation, no operation, any other. So these are all actions. agents should know all these things. And the right action is, how can you say that it is a right action? That if it achieves the task, whatever you want to do, then only it has to be considered as a right action. And just because of right action, the agents will become most successful. So now, how can you measure a performance of an agent? Like, how can you say that the particular agent has performing well? So there should be some criteria in order to say that the performance is good for a particular agent. So there are some measures which has been taken for that in order to rate the behavior of an agent. Okay, so in that sense, for example, if I take an example of vacuum cleaner, so how much amount of dirt has been cleaned? This is one criteria to judge the performance of vacuum cleaner. How much time it has taken for simple work? If it has taken more time than it is, will it be okay? No. So the amount of time should be reduced. The amount of electricity consumed should also be minimal. There should not be any noise, or the level of noise should be very less. Because all of these are the measuring factors on which a particular agent performance will be measured. Also, if you see, this is an example of vacuum cleaner, the next example is of self-driving car. Okay, self-driving car is how an automated car. How can you judge a performance of self-driving car is how much time it has taken to reach a particular destination. That means the less number of time, if the amount of time is less, then the performance is well. How safe it is while taking a self-driving car. What is the predictability of behavior for other agents? That means, for example, if this agent is going in an environment, if other agents comes, how this agent will behave in that way. Okay, and how reliable the particular self-driving car it will be. So all these are what the performance measure for self-driving car. So this is just an example to understand that the performance of an agent will be depends on its own factor. Also, there is another example of a game playing agent. How can you say the particular game has well performed? Based on win and loss percentage. Okay, because it should be in a maximum mode, then only the robustness should be there and the unpredictability should be there. Okay, because you know, if two players are there, then one player will be, the other will be an opponent. So opponent should be get confused, so the unpredictability can also be matters here. It depends on the type of game which you are playing. So all these are what the factors on which, you know, the agent will be measured. Now this is just an example of the definition on agent, that agent should try to do the right thing. But what if the rational agent is? I said you about the agent. Now if I say rational agent, what is rational agent? If you say that rational agent means the actions by which the rational agent should perform, it should maximize its performance measure. Doing the right thing is one thing, but doing the right thing in a good performance is another thing. So doing the right thing is the kind of work that has to be done by an agent, but doing the right thing which maximize its performance is your rational agent. That means the expectation what you achieve through an agent should be in maximum mode. That's the definition of rational agent, and that's the difference between an agent and rational agent. Both of them has to do the right thing, but the rational agent has to do in such a way that so that the performance should be get increases. Now for example, if I want to just to know that on which the task environment is characterized. So for any intelligent agent, there should be some design factor. So the design factor is peace. Is a combination of 4 words, like P stands for performance, okay, E stands for environment, A stands for actuators, and S stands for sensors. So all these things will be considered in order to, to set an intelligent agent design. So if you go to the performance measure, by taking an example of self-driving car, let us take an example of self-driving car. If I want to design, if they have given a task to design any agent, any rational agent, then I have to consider these 4 factors. So let us I taken an example of self-driving car. They have given a task, so I need to design on self-driving car. So the first thing here is, first is I need to focus on the performance measure. How the performance of self-driving car will be measured? It will be measured by the safety, how safe it is, how fast it is it legal in the particular location where you are wants to do. If it is not legal, then even if you develop that, but the government doesn't allow you to do that work, whether it's comfortable or not. I mean, like it is user friendly or not. Okay, so all these are what the performance measure I have to look out in order to design a particular agent, in order to have a maximum performance. Now the next thing is the environment. For example, if I am taking a self-driving car, what environment I should consider? The environment is the roads, how the roads are, okay, whether the condition of roads are good or not, that also we have to see. Because if the condition of roads are not good, whether if there any obstruction, then will the self-driving car handle? Are there any traffic problem? Are there any pedestrian issues? So all this I have to consider in terms of environment, because environment is something where my agent works. So a self-driving car, these are what the environments on which the agent of self-driving car works. Now similarly, if I go with actuators, how the action of self-driving car will be taken? You know, what are the things by which a car will drive? That is how the steering wheel, accelerator, brake, signal, horn, it should be in working condition, and it should be in a condition that even if the adverse condition will come, then also it should be in a position to handle such kind of situation. That's the role of actuators. The next is sensors. What sensors? How the self-driving car get an information? Through the environment. That is how the cameras, right, and the radar, or the speedometer, or the GPS, odometer, engine sensors, the keyboards. So lots of devices, lots of sensors has been used here. That sensors will perceive the information from environment which gives to self-driving car, and self-driving car work on that, and through actuators it generates action on environment again. So in this way, you like the agent has to be designed by following these 4 conditions. Now next concept is regarding the environments. If you observe environment, there are some different kinds of environment will be there. Somehow some environments can be fully observable environments. Somehow some environments can be partially observable environments. Let's see first fully observable environments. So if the agent sensors means who takes the information from environment, if it access to complete state of the environment, okay, if it access to complete state of the environment, needed to choose any action, then that environment is fully observable environment. Like you can say chess. While playing chess, if you want to develop a chess game, then what the agent should be fully observable. Why? Because it completely monitor the state of environment, means chessboard, right? The environment here will be the chessboard. So here the agent, whatever you have been developing, so in that the sensor have a complete information on the chessboard, and that's why it is considered to be as fully observable environment. So you can give chess. But there are some environments which are not fully observable, like partially observable environments. Because of some other issues, the environment complete state of information will not be provided. There are many multiple reasons for that. Some of the reasons like noisy sensors, inaccurate sensors, or some parts are simply missing from the sensor data. Like you can give an example of Kriegspiel chess. In Kriegspiel chess, you won't have an information of the opponent. That means the environment, like a normal chess and traditional chess, will have a complete view of the environment. But Kriegspiel doesn't provide you complete state of information. It just provides you partial state of information. That's why that is an example of partially observable environments. Let us take another example of car. Like if a self-driving car is there, only the car, mostly it won't focus completely on the environment. See, for a car, what are the environments? Roads, traffic, pedestrians. Might be because of some other issues, they may not have complete view on complete part of the road, or how the traffic pattern is there. They are not much more aware of that, or sort of any pedestrian issue. So you can consider such kind of agents also as partially observable environments. Okay, so this is just a comparison between fully observable and partially observable environments. Okay. Next, agents and environments. Again the same thing here is there, but like we need to know now in this slide the agent function. See here, the one is an agent, the other is an environment. Agent takes the information from environments and give back the actions to environment, right? Now there is a function called as agent function. Okay, so this agent function such as f of, that means p star means the percept histories. Percept histories means all the information which an agent has acquired from environment. It maps to where? It generates an actions. A represents for actions. So that's why F stands for agent function. Agent function means mapping from percept histories to actions. Percept histories means there are lots of things. It's not only one instance. Like if you take an example of car, you may have a history of roads, you may have a history of traffic pattern, you may have a flow of pedestrians. So all of this combination has to be called as percept histories, and that generates an actions, a set of actions. So that's why agent function will be denoted as F. Now the next is agent program. I said you agent is a combination of, I think in the first class, second or third class, I said you that agent is a combination of two things. The one is architecture and the second is program. So architecture is something this one. So this is your architecture. Whatever that is how considers to be as a physical architecture. And the agent program means what it performs, the functioning of that, the actions what it generates is called to be as a part of your program. So the agent programs runs internally on the physical architecture of the agent to produce what? What to produce? To produce agent function. Because what is the role of agent function? It gives you an action through percept histories. That is how the role of agent functions. That's why you, in order to produce F is what? Agent function. That's why, and in this way you need to understand the thing. So whenever you need to design an agent program, you need to assume an architecture of that agent. If you assume an architecture, then you can perceive the sensors which are available to the program, and through that it gives you an action. So always our focus will be on the program, because if the program works well, then it gives you proper actions. And if it gives you proper action, the performance will get increases, and ultimately you may get an actual product with good performance product, good performing product. Now, I have said you that there is a question mark in agent here, right? Yes. If you see this question mark here is there. So this question mark is basically it's the type of different types of agents. So now we will be seeing the types of agents. So the first type of agent is simple reflex agent. What is this simple reflex? Reflex means whatever you are getting, you are providing. That means it doesn't store any kind of previous information, previous state information, or previous record of percepts. Simply whenever an action comes, whenever a percepts come, based on that it gives you a reflex, and that reflex becomes an action. So I'll explain you with a diagram here. So if you see this diagram, you will come to know there are two parts. The right hand side belongs to environment, the left hand side is an agent. So agent always interacts with environment. Through environment it gets percepts, that means it gets information by sensors, okay, and through actuators it generates action. So here so this is your percepts, and this is your action. So through actuators you will get actions to environment, and through percepts it will get the information from environment through to sensors. Now sensor will take the percepts, the required information from environment, and what it does, it tells these are what the states. What is the state? What is the world is like now? That means it just focus on the current state, it won't focus on the previous states. That's why what is the world like now means currently what it is there. So for example, if there is, this is an example, let us consider this. If the back side of a car, if tail light of car in front is red, then it shows that it is brake. So if the car color if the tail light of car changes to red, that means this is how a percepts you got from an environment, and what the action it is performing is brake, then brake. So simply it takes the information and it reflects directly without storing. So that's why if you see this one, condition action rule. Condition is what? Tail light of color, tail light of car in front is red. Then what is the action? Action is brake. So based on that it performs, and this action, what action I should do now? What is the action now? Brake. So this brake will be provided through actuator. So this actuator will generate action, and it will be, where it will be done? Applying brake, where it will be done? In environment. So that's why it's a simple reflex agent, a simple example. That means it it will not store the previous information. It simply takes the information, provides it based on the condition, it gives you an action, and that action it generates. That's why simple, the term has been used. Reflex means getting that condition, working on that condition and generating an action. So reflexing that. So if you see the function here, if you see this function simple reflex agent, so the input of simple reflex agent is percept. Okay. What is that? Percept is what the simple the input for the simple reflex agent. It returns an action. So this action is your output. Persistent, that means persistent means a set of condition action rules. How it performs, what are the rules here? Whenever you get an action, whenever you get a condition, you need to provide an action. So the state is interpret. That means whatever the input, percept, whenever you got an input, that input will be act as a state. And based on that state, the rule, whatever the rule is there, so using that rule, if it matches with the rule, then the rule will work over here, and this through rule, an action will be generated and it gives you an action. So this action will return action to the environment. So this part which I highlighted just now will provide you where to environment. So if you see an example here, a function reflex vacuum agent. So percepts means what it takes location and it takes status. Okay, location A and B, status dirty, something like that, and it returns an action. What is that? If status is dirty, so this is how condition which you have taken. Status is dirty, then return suck. Suck is an what? Action. If that is not the condition, so if it is in the location A, then what is an action? Then return right. Right means moving towards right direction. Location B, it returns left. So in that sense, whatever you are getting the data, you are simply reflexing the data. So percepts action, status is percepts and suck is an action. Okay, so in that way simple reflex agents works. Now next is about model based. Second type of agent is model based reflex agents. If you see model based reflex agents, there are some key differences with respect to simple reflex agents. See here, in simple reflex agents, we doesn't have any internal state. That means there won't be any state where it stores the previous information or previous record. Right? If you see here, there is no previous information, it will be stored here. Simply, if you see this diagram, there is some difference here. If you see with the previous model, here what happens here is, it stores the previous data. That means the previous data will be considered to be stored in internal state. That internal state can be used to track the past status of the world. An agent, and this agent model base has the ability to represent change in the world. That means any action has been, any percept has been taken. So based on that, if there are from the previous experience what the agent has learned, based on that it updates the state. That is, it has an ability. That's why it is good comparatively to the previous agent. Because if you have previous knowledge, then we can adopt the things well. So there is an example here called as behavior based robots, which is called as Brooks subsumption architecture. So this robot is actually based on model based reflex agents. Why? Because it learns through the behavior of the robot of the previous experience. So if a robot have a previous experience, based on that previous experience, it updates the current state, and every time the performance of model based agent will get improved. based on the previous experience. So if you see this diagram of model based reflex agent, anyhow it takes the information from environment through sensor. Now there is a state called what the world is like now, that is your current state, and the previous state is this one. So this state will always be updated. How the world evolves. There is another, how the world evolves means what the changes has been done, what my actions do, how should I update my state, what action should I do, what you have did, the previous experience, all will be provided to the current state, so that the current state will be get updated, and the updated current state will go to the next state, that what action should I do now. So now the updated condition it receives, based on the updated condition, the action it will be generated. If you compare with the previous diagram, only there are three things has been added here. These three things, state, how the world evolves, and what my actions do, this has been added in order to have the, these are called as internal states, which gives you an update on the current state. Okay, that means for example, there is how there's something they have learned that potentially if it is dangerous to drive in front. In first means they got some updation on that. That means now the condition is dangerous driver is in front. How they know that the driver is dangerous in front? Based on the previous experience. So here the updated condition is dangerous driver is in front. So this updated condition, how they got? Based on the previous internal states or previous states. Okay. So the action is to keep distance for that one. So that action will be generated through actuators. So in that way it will be provided. So how detailed, that means complete information will be provided in this manner. And if you see this function of model based reflex agent, now this percept is your input, this percept is your input and return an action. So initially the state, the agent current conception of the world state, that means current state, model, a description of how the next state depends on current state and action, and based on the rule certain actions will be decided based on the updated condition. Set of condition means this is updated condition. So how it will be updated? The state will be updated based on the current state, based on the action, based on this state is what the previous states, the action of the previous state, the percept of the current state, and the model. So based on these four inputs, the state will be updated. That means from the previous experience it learns, and this will be updated state. So this state will be updated state, and this updated state again based on the rules, that means a particular rule will be matched, and that rule will be helped in order to generate an action. Okay, so in that sense it works here. So that's why I said you. Now I said you an example of behavior based robots. So this is an example of behavior based robots, means behavior based means building, the main idea of behavior robots is like to have a complex robots and intelligent robots. How? By decomposing their behavior into hierarchy of skills. If the skills will be termed in a hierarchy manner, then it is easy to percept the particular, particular condition and based on that a particular action will be generated. So here like some example are there for that behavior, means collision avoidance. In order to not to have any collision, so collision avoidance, how they learn based on the previous experience, exploration, anything, any recognizing doorways, where is the way to go and all that, how, this is how from the previous experiences. So that's why that is called, termed as behavior based robots, based on the behavior. So like whatever the behavior is there, it will be modeled as finite state machine. Finite state means state machine means different states will be there, some states will be there, and each states have some function, and based on that any particular state will be selected based on the current input, current state what they got, which is best suited for them. Based on that, from that it will be selected. So that's why behaviors are always loosely coupled here. Why? Because we don't know that this behavior is not, it is particularly associated with that one or this this state or that state, we don't know. That's why it is loosely coupled. So that was a concept on behavior robots. Now the next thing is goal based agents. So previously we have seen simple reflex agents and model based agents. Now we are seeing goal based agents. See, up to now either in simple reflex agent or either in model based agents, we haven't know that what is our goal state. For example, if we provide a goal information that what we have to do ultimately, then it will be very easy and it will be very practical also. For example, a self-driving car is there, and if self-driving car doesn't know where to go, where is the destination, as you take an example of model based agents, then it is not applicable in that one, right? Until and unless if you won't give a destination, that is our goal, that the car has to reach to from this source to that destination, then only it will be worked out. That's why goal based agents are the practical agents. Why? Because here they know that what ultimately they have to achieve. So that's why desirable situation has to be achieved in goal based agents. So now the question here is how they will decide. They have to decide that what action should do in order to reach my goal. For example, a car is there, a self-driving car is there, from moving from one location to another location. So another location is the destination. Now the car agent has to think that how should I reach to that location, to my destination? What action should I take? I need to start the car, I need to go there, which path I have to select, how I have to go, all this has to be decided. That means I need to reach my future event. That means always that goal based agents will consider their future event, that I have to reach to my destination, that's it. So that's why the efficiency will increases here, and eventually it has to be get computed as well. If you see this diagram of goal based agents, now instead of, if you see the previous diagram with this one, there it was action. If you just, I'll show you the diagram there. Yeah, here what is there, condition action rules are there in this agent, but it is replaced with here goals. That means here also it gives the information of internal states, but along with that it has a goal. That goal will let the action to know that this is the goal, so do the action in such way. That means if the action is if the action is in such a way that it is making help to achieve the goal, then only that action will be taken, right? If that action is not required for achieving the goal, then that action will be rejected. So that's why goals will also be being considered in order to achieve the action. So that's this is how the goal based agents works. That means it always consider features, future. For example, a robot is there, cleaning robot is there, and if the task is to clean a kitchen, So now it always used to do the work in such a way that to clean the kitchen. It won't do any other action which will not leads to clean the kitchen. It only does that actions which ultimately leads to clean the kitchen. That's why it is called as goal based agents. That means it choose the action in such a way that it should reach a goal. That's why it is more flexible than reflex agents, and also it involves search and planning. Search for what? Goal, destination. Planning means how to achieve. How should I reach to my goal? That's why these two terms has been added in goal based agent. That's a very important part. Search and planning. Search is for goal and planning is in order to reach goal, how should I plan? Okay, so these two things are been added here. That's why it is the practical one. Okay, so the main module which has been added here is problem solving. Problem solving means how to clean kitchen according to this example. This is my problem. So this module has been added, that will be taken by goal based agents. Now another agent, the fourth agent here is utility based agents. See, this agent is as like as goal based agent only, but for example, if you see, for example, a car is there, self-driving car is there, it has to reach from A to B. Now, so for example, there are three ways by which you can reach from A to B. Now, what is the role of utility based agent means? It will check the best way, optimal way in order to reach from A to B. How it should be? It depends on two things. The first is time complexity and the second is space complexity. The time complexity means the amount of time, how much time it is taking. So it will, if the amount of time is less, then it consider that way. Along with that, it also consider the space. If in both the way it performs union operation on time and space complexity, and based on that which it finds best one, it selects that route, that path, that alternative. That is the role of utility based agents. So when there are multiple possible alternatives, how to decide which one is best? So that means here the goal is to reach destination, but it should be a qualitative. Okay, there should be a good quality has to be adopted in order to reach a goal. That means a distinction should be there that it is an happy state and an unhappy state. Happy state means which takes less time and less space, and unhappy state is something which takes more time and more space, or any one of the state is taking more, if for example, even if it takes less time, but if it takes more space, then also it is, considered as an unhappy state. Considering both the one, consider as an happy state. So that's why we need a general performance measure that describes the happiness, the degree of happiness. That's why I said you. So how to perform, who will perform this utility function? So what is the role of utility function here is, it selects the particular states in such a way that it reaches to R in a way that it reach in a successful way our happiness at any given state. So who will decide the particular alternative to select? Utility function. And that's why it is important, because it allows decisions to choose, because if there are conflicting goals are there, and if achievements is uncertain, then also it avoids that kind of goals. So if you see this diagram, instead of goal you have here utility. Here you have utility. Utility here is, utility will let you know that what action should I take in order to reach a state where I get happiness. Means I get an optimal solution, a best one, in order to reach my destination. So based on the utility function, so this utility will be helpful in order to achieve the task. So practically also, like in navigation also, it uses that one only. Based on that only, you will be decided that this will take this much time, this will take that much time, the space along with the time, how much space it takes, right? So all this issues has to be considered here. So that's why what is the ultimate is, it should be faster and it should be safer. Okay? And the main module here is decision making. Decision making means which alternative should be selected, deciding that one is here. That's why it is decision making module has been used in utility based agent. Okay, so this is about utility based agent. The next agent here is learning agent. So if you see the learning agent is not as like as the previous 4 agents which we have seen, but this learning agent is as like as human beings, how we have adopted the things and how we eventually update ourselves and improve ourselves. In that sense it works here. For example, here as like as the case, this is an agent which is at the left hand side, and through sensors it perceives the information, and there are some performance standards are there for any work whatever you have to do. So the critic says that you have to do that work. Like there is a critic called quick turn is not safe, right? So that critic will be act as a source for an agent to learn something. How the agent got this one? Based on the standards which have been given. So following such standards, also from the previous practical experience what they have achieved through that. So the learning element will learn through the feedback by which who has given that, the performance standard has given that, and based on, after learning that, they have changed that we shouldn't take any time quick turn. That means there should not be any quick turn. So this performance element, the current state will be updates. Okay, how it updates? Because it has adapted a quality that you shouldn't take a quick turn. This is just an example. Okay, there are lots of other examples as well. In order to know how it is working, I am just giving an example here. So it adapts a quality that we shouldn't take a quick turn, and the performance element has been improved like that. Similarly, not only that, there are various things by which by performance element that has to be adopted, and that has to be improved over time. After improving that, the updated knowledge again will be given to the learning element, so that the thing has been achieved here, and that will help the learning element to learn the goals. Okay, while learning the goals, after the problem gets generated, that problem again give input to the performance. Like we as a human also, whenever we used to learn, whenever if there is any problem that means we will avoid such kind of things. So that's why learning agent is also called as reinforcement learning. Okay, this is reinforcement. That means it's make an agent to learn again. through the problem what they have faced previously. So as like as we human used to do, in that sense it will be, right? So based on that, the performance, the state will be get updated, and based on that, the actions will be generated here, and that actions will be again provided to environment. So this is how a learning agent works here. So like I said, quick turn means now performance element will update the road conditions. So this road conditions will be there. So that road conditions will be, the information will be updated here, and that will be given again back to learning element. Then problem generator will take that, and they will try out the brakes on different road surfaces in order to check if there is any problem, the same problem is there or not, and based on that it perceives finally and it selects an action. So in that sense it works here. So this is module learning, and it is how more complicated, because I just said you just now that it is reinforcement learning, because it is utility information, right? So it is of one of kind of reinforcement learning. Now if you see the summary, the agent type simple reflex, I said you that is very simple, like how it simply works on the rule of condition action rules, how it works, right? It doesn't have any previous information, it doesn't have any previous state information, simply the current percepts only it will take as a condition, based on that action will be generated. The second is agent with memory, previous data which will be stored in model based reflex agents, which keep the track of past states of the world. That's why because it has an internal state, and the same thing as like as model based only, but along with that it has a particular goal on which it works. That's why it is goal based agents. That's the third one. Utility based agents, here it will take the decision on the utility theory, that which it acts as a rationally, logically it thinks that which is the best part to select a particular an action which action has to be done based on the utility function, the output of the utility function. And the learning agent, that's why I said you just now that it is how it improves the performance through learning process. Okay, it has an ability to improve its performance through learning. So if you see the summary again, I said you an agent, what is an agent performs, because it has an architecture and a program which is agent program. But if you compare agent and rational agent, you may find the difference here is in rational agent also it behaves like as an agent, but it has one more quality, that it maximizes its expected performance. The performance should be in maximum mode for a rational agent. And an autonomous agent is also like that, it uses its own experience, okay, based on the experience rather than built-in knowledge. Okay, like learning agent just now we have seen, right? In that sense, in this autonomous agent works here. And if you see, reflex agents are of two, simple reflex and model based. Why they will come under into same category? Because it responds immediately. Okay, but in simple it won't store the data, in model it stores the data. In goal based, I said you that they work on to achieve a goal. Utility is something, it performs, it gets the output from utility function and it gives you a best optimal solution. A learning agent is how something it works through the performance, through the previous experience also, and also by learning the previous experience the performance gets increased or improved. Okay, so always the knowledge has to be represented for a successful agent design. That's all about the summary. So in this way it is about the concept on structure of agents. Okay, so this completes your today's session. Thank you.